Howdy guys, this is my karma video. So I believe this is probably going to be one of the most important videos of all my series of videos for various reasons. Karma, it's the general term. Jesus's Sermon on the Mount is basically karma. If you read Jesus's Sermon on the Mount, I believe it's probably the most accurate and best interpretation of karma. If you ever want to know what karma is, just read Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, right? Those who live by the sword die by the sword. It's not hard to figure out, right? I mean, if you're attacking other people, then you'll be attacked. If you accept people, then you'll be accepted. It's just it's an easy concept to understand, but there's a lot of things that kind of go in there with karma that I want to talk about in this video that a lot of people don't readily understand. A lot of times we don't understand how we're enabling people to stay in karmic cycles unknowingly. And this is something that I have been guilty of for years, and not understanding what I was doing because and I was getting pulled into other people's karmic cycles for that reason. So I really want you guys to think about the people around you and how well you can help them in the best way. And sometimes love isn't what you think it is. So I've got these two pictures down here. One's a galaxy and one is the toroidal field. This toroidal field pretty much applies to everything. But karma is the idea that everything comes back to you. The energy that you're putting out is what you're getting back. And so you see there, it's just like your own biofield, where at the center, you have energy leaving and coming back around, and then it comes back to you. And that's how everything works. You have to get your inner state to what you want it in order for what you're putting out is what you're going to get back. And we all make mistakes, and we get feedback loops so that we understand what we're getting back. And that is going to be the ultimate message in this video, because karma is all about obtaining that perfect inner reality, because your inner reality is what you're going to get back. If your inner reality isn't right, then what you want, people are always trying to change the world around them, but they don't understand that what they're always seeking is on the inside. So let's go to the next slide. So for this reason, and this is how you can treat other people, but you really have to learn to treat yourself this way first. And if you can treat yourself this way, you can unconditionally love yourself, you can accept yourself no matter what, you will have peace, joy, and it'll be much easier to visualize what you want. Then the universe works in tandem with you for exactly what you want. There's a lot of success, gurus out there that, they push success, and most of it is external validation. Most people aren't really teaching internal validation. You should be teaching, before you have any kind of external your external environment's going to change at all. You have to have that internal change. You have to be unconditionally loving of yourself and accepting of yourself. Understand that all the things that you went through were lessons that you needed to learn, and they're going to continue to learn in order to grow. And so as soon as you're in that state, that's the energy that you're going to put out into the world, and that's how you're going to see other people, because you realize that everybody else is just like you, right? They're just trying to find that place of peace, and if they're thrashing around and they're in a state of conflict, it's because they're internally conflicted. It's not because there's somebody out there that's harming them. That's that victimized mindset is in a lower state of awareness, where you're not really aware that everything else out there is teaching you how to come to a place of peace. And so spending time in meditation every morning, learning to just accept whatever you're going through, because nothing happens overnight. Don't ever buy anybody's stories that You know, you can take a magic pill or one subliminal episode is going to fix your mind permanently, and all of a sudden you're going to live in a life of abundance. It doesn't happen that way, right? Growth is a process, and you have to go through that process in order to have the wisdom from that process. You don't gain wisdom, you know, overnight from one experience. Wisdom takes time, and you have to be patient with yourself. I mean, I didn't put patience down there, but patience is one of the most important things. You really have to have patience, and everything runs in cycles. So these karmic cycles, you know, that we go through when we're putting stuff out there, it goes out into larger and larger cycles. So the larger and larger groups that you're affecting, you will see, you know, that energy come back to you in that number of cycles. So always prioritize your own inner peace, because if you're tying yourself to somebody else's karmic cycle, you'll get pulled into that karmic cycle, and then you're constantly battling that karma, right? You're just neutralizing that conflict, that inner conflict. And you know, it's all of our calling to help each other in those situations, to teach how to get out of that. But if you become part of the drama, right, then you just keep that person in that karmic cycle. So I'll give you an example. A friend of the family, you know, got sick and went to the hospital for drug addiction. And hospitals don't understand this, and hospitals should be doing this the same way that treatment centers are doing it. You know, if you've got somebody that needs to go to a treatment center, to a detox center, family's not allowed there. And the reason is because usually the family is part of the problem, and they don't even understand that they are. So you need to isolate so that you can heal. And that's why I have this picture down here of one person sitting in front of the ocean, because in order to really heal ourselves, you have to isolate yourself, because you can't, whatever you're going through, you cannot allow it to feed off other people, because it'll stay alive, right? Any conflict that you have that you allow to feed off of your environment, you're just letting it stay alive, and it's feeding itself. You're letting that drama of whatever you have feed off your external environment. So you have to take the time to meditate, take some time to yourself, be at peace, you know, try to find that place of peace and say, well, you know, why do I feel this way? It's you that are feeling that way. If you're conflicted, if you're angry, if you're sad. And I have, you know, I've shared things in the past where I have gotten sad because of the people around me. And you know, I'm constantly looking for that solution to help those people. And I realized just recently that in order to really help the people around you, you have to be in that place. You have to be where you're not conflicted anymore. You know, there's no more conflict. So in order to get into a place where your karmic cycles are finally at an end, then just seek those places of refuge. And if you find somebody is bothering you and triggering you, then it's usually an indication that you have something internally that you need to work on, that you see within yourself, right? That you have a problem with yourself, and you have a hard time facing. So yeah, let's go to the next slide. So, you know, as soon as we balance our male and feminine sides, you know, then we're really at a place of peace, because you're just naturally working with the universe at that point. You know, when you're in a state of peace and joy and understanding, you're never permanently just sitting by yourself, you know, in a state of meditation. But you're never permanently just go, 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 right? I mean, there's so much take action, take action. But if you're constantly taking action, you're not taking care of yourself, and you're not coming to a place where you're in complete faith and you understand that everything's working out in your favor, then you're still keeping some kind of karmic cycle alive, some kind of negative mindset, right? Where if I don't do this, then I'm not going to be this, right? You have to fall outside of that, where there's nothing that you need to do out there in order for you to be good in here. You know, if you want to, you should be able to make any choice for yourself, to where I could walk out into the desert and be 100% happy with myself for the next 40 days all by myself, versus go hang out with the community for the next 40 days and hang out with a group of people, and it would be no different, right? Because you're finally at a place where your masculine and feminine are balanced, and you don't need any external validation for anything anymore. There's nothing out there that can disrupt your chi, right? And so that's where everybody's really trying to get. That's where we start evolving as people. That's when we start to grow closer, because there's no traumas that are trying to pull from the people around you. One point of karma that I have always had a hard time, for me personally, was money, right? Because money is a point of external validation, but all of us need money to survive, right? But here's the thing, if I just go after money, then I'm not really facing any of the problems that I have internally of the reasons why I feel like I need that, because I'm going after a survival mechanism. So I'm still staying in a karmic cycle of some kind where I still need to pull from my external environment. And if you're never selling something, think about it this way. If you never try to sell a part of yourself, or you never try to sell any piece of yourself, then you have faith that your needs are going to be met no matter what. Now, you might say, well, how are my needs going to be met if I'm not trying to sell anything, or if I'm not selling my, wages for goods? Well, I'm going to leave that as the last thing in this video for you to contemplate. How can I make peace with that? Is there a way to make peace with that? Because in actuality, let's say I was a therapist, or maybe I was a coach, and I wanted to coach a group of people, and then they're going to pay for my services, so I'll sell my services to them. But the reality is that we're always helping each other. It doesn't matter if I'm coaching you. You are giving me your experience, and I'm giving you my experience. And so we have that equal exchange of energy. But on the surface, money just went from you to me. And so I'm kind of pulling in myself into a karmic cycle, or maybe an unequal exchange of debt, because I've just sold a part of myself to you where you just gave all of yourself to me freely. You see what I'm saying? So think about that, and think about the systems that we live in. And if I just give you 20 bucks, give me 20 bucks back, whatever. It doesn't matter. But think about that in your life and your cycle, and how to make peace with that, and whether or not that is even a thing, right? Because we are selling products, and people are in a state of need, and you can sell those products to people that are in a state of need. And just ask your higher self how that works. And I'm not going to tell you how it works, but there is an answer. And so I'm going to leave that with you guys. Think about, make sure that you're not pulling yourself and enabling people in their karmic cycles, because leaving that alone and just giving them the advice to heal and do some meditation exercises, maybe some yoga exercises, is the best advice you can get for anybody. And just tell them to follow their heart, because their heart's going to heal, and they're going to be able to fall out of their karmic cycles way sooner than they would have if they would have just kept chasing a dollar, or just kept throwing themselves in those environments that enables their inner conflicts to feed off their external environment. If you have any kind of drug addictions at all, or food addictions, any kind of addiction, it's covering up an emotional trauma that you need to settle on the inside. And for a long time, for me personally, I wasn't able to settle a lot of those things, because I didn't realize what I was doing. I was trying to find external validation out there, when all I needed to do was find that place of peace in me and realize that I'm good enough the way I am, right? All of us are good enough the way we are. You just have to remember that, and then you'll be fine. So, love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video. And in the comments, Let me know what experiences you had, and especially, what kind of karmic cycles you feel like you're in the middle of solving. And it always has to do with finding the joy and happiness in here so that you can spread that around you and unconditionally love and accept the people around you. And those karmic cycles, you'll find that you'll start to get blessings over and over and over. And you'll have this equal exchange of energy, and you'll finally get to a place where you're at a place of peace. And that's what I wish for everybody, right? So have a wonderful day.